Hey, welcome into the Snap Week 7 waivers. We don't really have a lot of big ones on the slate, but some important ones that you could be thanking me for a couple weeks down the line. So if you're new to the channel, as always, a like on the video or a subscription goes a long way. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. My number one out of the week, someone that I think you have to get a piece of, Wan'Dale Robinson, rookie wide receiver for the New York Giants. The New York Giants are depleted at wide receiver. Kadarius Toney, Kenny Golladay just cannot get on the field for whatever reason. Nagging injuries, poor attitudes, who knows? There's some internal drama going on there. Sterling Shepard is out, and Wan'Dale comes back. Only plays like 23% of snaps, gets 4 targets, gets into the end zone. Really solid debut for him. I think that him, alongside somebody else I'm going to talk about from this team, are worthwhile adds this week. Wan'Dale's only owned in 20% of leagues, and I'd be willing to spend 10% of my FAAB on him. Anything higher than this, I mean, look, it's a tertiary receiver for the Giants. He could be the wide receiver 1, but it's a speculative ad. I think if he plays more, the production's going to be there, but it's a low volume passing offense. Let's look at that and acknowledge that. But 10% I think is fair for Wan'Dale Robinson. And to be honest, he's the only wide receiver that I am targeting this week. I think with Robbie Anderson moving or getting traded to the Cardinals, that's an interesting situation, but we've got DeAndre Hopkins potentially coming back on the Thursday night, and Rondale Moore, who I told you guys to pick up in like week 4, week 3. Rondale Moore is getting busy the last couple weeks, coming off a 10-target performance. So you insert DeAndre, Zach Ertz is still a thing, Rondale Moore. I don't really know the role that Robbie has. So switching teams seems good, but sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. On to some running backs. And there's some running backs that I'm going to give you here. First one, Baltimore Ravens. No, it's not Kenyon Drake. Don't add Kenyon Drake. You're not going to chase the points. And I would say don't chase the points. J.K. Dobbins went out in this game, knee tightness. Gus Edwards is trending to make a return, as is Justice Hill. So there's a trio of backs that could be involved here. And Gus Edwards has been one of the most efficient runners over the last couple seasons. I believe him and Nick Chubb are like tied. Obviously the production is a lot different, the opportunity, but when it comes down to it, Gus Edwards is a very efficient runner, and we should look to maybe grab a piece of this rushing offense, because I don't know that J.K. Dobbins is going to do it on his own. So 23% rostered, I would spend only about 5% of my FAAB on Gus Edwards as a speculative ad for week 7. On to a couple other running backs that I think are worth stashing. You've got Kyren Williams, who is on bye this week. The Rams are on bye, along with the Bills and a couple other teams. But with the Cam Akers news of him playing his last snap for the Rams and them actively trying to trade him, I think Kyren Williams becomes an interesting topic. A guy that you can stash. He's only 10% rostered. I would spend 1% FAAB because he's on his bye week, and his value is really only dependent on that Akers trade. But should that happen, you might have somebody who's startable. Same sort of thing here going over to Buffalo. They are on bye this week. I'm going to get you to keep your eyes on James Cook. He was elevated as the second option in this offense. Zach Moss was inactive, a healthy scratch. And what this tells me is that they're going to move forward with James Cook and Devin Singletary. And should anything crazy happen, like Christian McCaffrey trade to the Bills, different story. But moving forward after the bye week, we could see more opportunity for James Cook. They play the Packers, who are susceptible to just getting run all over. I know that best. Let me tell you that. But James Cook, we could grab him now, 1% FAAB. He's only 38% rostered. A speculative ad. And then another one, just to sort of put you onto this one as something to think about, but D'Onta Foreman is currently the running back 2 in Carolina. And with Christian McCaffrey trade rumors circulating, D'Onta Foreman could be not only a running back that, you could stash and play, but he might be someone that it's a plug and play option for you. Like D'Onta Foreman, I saw something, guy that I follow on Twitter, Sal Vetri, does a lot of really good DFS work, but he said that 83% of the time last year when D'Onta Foreman was a starter, he was a top 25 running back. And I agree with him that type of production and talent should not be available on your waiver wire. So should something happen to Christian McCaffrey, injury or trade, D'Onta Foreman gets boosted all the way up into your fantasy lineup as a strong RB2 or flex play on a week-to-week basis. So I like D'Onta Foreman. He's only 10% rostered. You could spend probably 3% FAAB on him and be the only bid in your league. For these guys like Kyren Williams, Gud Edwards, James Cook, and D'Onta Foreman, I wouldn't burn priority on them, but I would be willing to add them after waivers go through, so you save that priority and you get those guys on free agents. Last two, tight ends. Daniel Bellainger for the New York Giants is somebody that I think we have to take note of. Just like Wan'Dale Robinson, this passing attack needs help, and Bellainger has been a staple, getting on the field more, being more involved. Had 5 targets, 5 receptions for 38 yards, and a touchdown. He's going to finish as a tight end 1 this week, no doubt about it. But what I really like to see about him, not only is he getting opportunity, but 94% snap share, season high last week of 74. He bumps that up 20% to 94%. So he's only 7% roster, may be able to help you out on your, week 7 buys. I would spend about 5% on him, and then Dulcich. Greg Dulcich had a really good game, also got into the end zone, was on limited work, but Albert Okwuegbunam was a healthy scratch. And I don't know what that means moving forward, but he has not been what people thought that he would be to start the year. Greg Dulcich activated from the injured list to make his debut on the Monday night and gets into pay dirt. I think Bellainger and Dulcich are both potential stashes at the tight end position or fill-ins going into next week if you've been struggling with someone like Kyle Pitts or Dalton Schultz, or you've got somebody like Dawson Knox or Smith on bye. I really do think that these two guys could offer some value. So let us know in the comments below who you're trying to get in your leagues, what we would spend on them, or what priority you should use. Let us know. We answer every single question. We are absolutely here to help. Appreciate you guys coming by, and good luck in the Week 7 waivers. We'll see you soon.